the New 80's Revolution with Jason Nupp, a one-and-all show full of fun where anything can and does happen. Pickups, fan mail, toy reviews, camping with the New 80's Revolution Jr. Whatever the heck else does not fit into a specific category, Jason covers it right here, folks. And now, the host of the New 80's Revolution, Jason Nupp.
What is up, guys? Jason up the New 80's Revolution down here in the cave for part 3 of the Toy Room Tour. That's right, part 3. And we have done part 1 and 2, obviously, because that's what comes before 3. We've taken a look at the LJN wall. We've taken a look at the shelf next to the LJN wall. We've taken a look at the next 2 shelves. And instead of going around that way, I'm going to flip it now, and we're gonna reverse it. We're going to take a look around this way. Some stuff that you might not have seen before, or I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it all, but and then we're also gonna go behind that door right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go behind that door, because behind that door is the former board game collection. That's right. We had to reduce a lot of stuff in here to get ready for the G.I. Joe collection. And so we moved all of our board games into that room. A few other things went in there. Mixed feelings about that, you know. I feel like if they're behind there, they're gone, right? Out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But I had to make room. So we're gonna take a look at the G.I. Joe section. We're gonna take a look at the Grail section, the TV, and then that'll be part 3. So let's get behind the camera and take an up close and personal look at the next portion of the Nerd Cave. All right, as promised, we are going to start this thing off with the door, and this is the. Oh, got to move the pogo ball, which we'll take a look at. All right, so this. This is sad. This is this is a sump pump room, right? So there's the sump pump, and there are board games and more board games and more board games. So basically I just crammed everything in here that I couldn't fit in the room. And there's DVD piles are in that box, and more DVDs down there, and some caulk, and some spackling, and some dog barking, and some old paint, and so this is what has become of Board Game Alley, just tucked back in here. And there are some things that I would love to have out. My Nerf pool, I love, my Bolomatic, I love the Animator, my Verbot, my Mad Scientist, but guys, I just don't have the room anymore. So all these my color forms are all in there. All my TV show board games are tucked away. And they're not gone. They're not all stuffed away. If I could somehow get in here, there is plenty of room in here, even though it doesn't look like it. I have exposed studs here. I mean, this is the back of the finished basement. So I have all these exposed studs that I could put brackets on and shelves. So I could get these board games. I mean, these are in their own little bookshelves. I moved bookshelves back here too. And so these are all in their bookshelves. And so these are fine. It's just this stuff that's all kind of just sitting on the floor. And then all that stuff over there that could go on a shelf and look displayed. So maybe one day I'll get in here and clear this all out and put the board games up, and then be able to walk in there. I don't know, maybe put like a little throw rug down. All right, so that's we had to move all those board games, and we had to put them And there's where the door is. You know, you can kind of get the feel of the room. This is the back of the room. That's the entrance to the room. That's a shirtless 4-year-old. All right, so here we go. So we'll just start in the corner. You know, I don't know. There's an elf TV tray there for some reason, and there is a Galoob WCW Championship belt in package. This is where I've just decided to start hanging the carded Remcos. I'm just going to put them there. Because if I did, by some crazy, windfall of money, and I did start buying some of the more expensive AWA figures on card, they'd all fit here. It's not like the LJN cards that would just take up an entire room. They'd all fit here nicely. But that's what we got so far. It's not bad. It's not a bad start. There's usually a pogo ball in the corner, right? This is where that's where I keep the pogo ball, right there. And we're beginning G.I. Joe world here. So, over here is just some, random fun G.I. Joe inserts and catalogs and blueprints and all sorts of stuff. We got our stands. We got our replacement O-rings. And then we have the bags of figures that have not yet been shown. So this is the bag of 87s that I have. This is the bag of 86s that I have. And so, I do have some figures from upcoming years, but I'm still collecting 85, and so I'm not doing anything with those figures yet. So they sit and wait for their year to come. We've got a base, we've got a headquarters sitting on the floor next to the Terradome. Great pickup of mine last year. Got it for an extremely good price. A friend of mine found that at a garage sale for $5, and it was 98% complete. He found it at a garage sale for $5, ladies and gentlemen, and made a whole lot of money. All right, here is the shelves that you have seen in the G.I. Joe pickup videos. So 83 is there, 84 is there, and then 85 is there. And we are 3 figures away from being done with 1985. And there's been a little pause, unintentional. I just, been doing other stuff. But Shipwreck is next. Shipwreck will be joining the family. And there's just what I decided to do with the shelves is just put all these little posters and things and blueprints and cards. And I'll just leave that as the backdrop. So as the shelves go up, the backdrop will be the posters. So we got 3 shelves from the ground up so far. Bases underneath. And they just climb the wall. And then we get up to the top shelf. I put this top shelf up the other day because all of this other random G.I. Joe stuff was just taking up too much space. So I put a shelf up because I think, I don't know, I'm probably wrong, but I think we could probably get all the figures from 83 to 89 in this remaining space. I think. We're seeming to do a shelf per year, and we're up to 85 already. So, or we're through with 85 practically. So I think we can do it. It might be tight. I might have to display a few figures in the Terradome in the headquarters, but I think we can do it. So up here is just some stuff. The G.I. Joe TV tray, a couple of lunch boxes, some Presto Magic color form-ish stuff. G.I. Joe board game, one of a few G.I. Joe board games that are out there. This is cool. If you watch my favorite Christmas presents of all time, you'll see that I was into. I don't know if it was my favorite Christmas presents. It was like when I did the catalog review. Having your own fort, your own tent, your own clubhouse was, basically every kid's dream in the 80s, and they really capitalized on that and marketed all of these companies and all of these cartoons to tents and playhouses and forts, and that's the G.I. Joe Trooper Dome. We got a costume back there, a G.I. Joe costume. You can kind of see it. We've got some comics. Those are all my comic books and my G.I. Joe magazine, and I don't know, we got a good stash of comics. Wasn't a comic book fan as a kid, and I still just can't get into them. Got a bunch, got them all in numerical order, and I'd like to buy them all, but I don't know if I'm ever really just going to sit down and read them. So that's G.I. Joe World. I don't know if it's called G.I. Joe World. I don't think I've officially named it. Maybe G.I. Joe Headquarters. I don't know. And what do we got on the floor here? I told you we'll just do it as it is. We got one of my notebooks finally. We got that awesome LJN Wrestling Superstars book. We got the G.I. Joe Bible that has everything you need to know about the figures. We got a random blue pen there. That's always nice to see. Oh yeah, we've got this. We've got the G.I. Joe Fixer Upper screwdriver, the official size, the right size for the screws. We got some paper labels down here for when we label the shelves like that. Yeah, so that's G.I. Joe Headquarters right there. And as you can see, it's in there's that bright light again. Let me turn some of these off for you. The rest of the room, we've gone over there. That's what we've done so far. We've done that corner. We came around this way now, and there is our G.I. Joe Headquarters. And Galoob and Remco Headquarters apparently as well. And then we got to take a look in there. So we're going to hit this section right now. Let's do that. All right, so next up is a new section of the room. This is the Grail section. I told you that I did not want to just... I didn't want to go through, identifying the Grails if I was not going to display them properly. That is not a Grail, but I'll explain that in a minute. So I wanted the Grails to have their own section, and boy, do they. So we've got just a shelf on some brackets, and we've got our Grails up. So there's our Pee-wee's Playhouse box. There's our Dallas Cowboy Huddle. There's our Atari book, collector, storage book. There's our Dukes of Hazzard Barn Busters playset with our awesome J.C. Penney or whatever catalog order sticker on it. We got our Air Jammer Road Rammer that we just added. And we have another Grail coming this week, thanks to a friend of the channel who, hooked me up with the link to an eBay auction that was just so cheap and so great, and nobody wants this item, but yet people try to sell it for hundreds and nobody wants it, and so I got it for $29.99. It's not going to be able to go on the Grail shelf. It's pretty big, so it's probably going to be a floor item. But anyway, here's Grail shelf, and next to the Grail, still on the same shelf, on the same set of brackets, are the G.I. Joe vehicle boxes that I will be collecting. So there's only two more that I need. I need the Dragonfly and the Mobat. So we've got the APC box. We've got the Sky Striker box. The Cobra Fang was not going to be a box that I wanted or needed to collect, but I had it. So I just put it up there. But we need the Mobat and the Dragonfly to complete the vehicle boxes that I need, the vehicles that were special to me. So they're all on that shelf too there. So really this whole section is just right next to the G.I. Joes, and right next to the door we're just coming along, and we got the G.I. Joe boxes, and we got the Grails. Now, I have decided, looking around this room, that I need to maximize space. And so any wall space I have, I'm going to pin something up if I can. And I did that on the other side too. When we get there, I'll show you. So I had some wall space, and I pulled my 2 carded Galoobs and my 2 carded WCW Bendies, and I just put them there because I want them shown off, but I don't have any more space. So any wall space that I have, and I did this over here. I showed you just hanging stuff up that used to be, stacked like books in a library on a shelf. So I put those all up there, and they're right at the ceiling, and you can't really even get a great look at them, but they're there. They're out. It's better than being tucked away in a shelf. I got a little wall space there. Maybe I can hang something. So, you get desperate for space. And here, there's the Pee-wee's Playhouse, loose, and pretty gosh darn complete. There's a couple of figures missing. My 4-year-old actually set this up for me. Did it pretty perfectly, right? Yeah. There's this. This was on my console TV as a child. That is me as a child. Those are my shoes. Apparently in the 70s and 80s, you would bronze or whatever your children's baby shoes. And there's mine. And so there's little new 80s revolution right there. Look at him. A little drool on his chin, I think. Yeah, look at that. Look at that drool spot on my overalls. That's disgusting, isn't it? I'm drooling all over myself before the photos. So this is my TV. This is the console TV. And here's the problem. This thing is starting not to work. It's doing what they all do, when they get old. Here, watch out of the picture. Here. Go over there, because I can see you in the picture. You don't have a shirt on. You should wear clothes. This TV is doing what TVs do from this time. They're shrinking, right? So the tube is shrinking, or the picture is shrinking. And so you eventually get like 75% of a screen, and then you get 50% of the screen, and then you got nothing. So I want this out of here, and I want it replaced with another console TV. But there's a couple of problems with that. One, this TV looks very much like the one that I remember having. It's a Zenith, which is the one that I had as a kid. It has these little knobby things on it that mine had as a kid. But this is digital, which mine was not. So it's not identical. It's not perfect. Also, mine had like a rail on the top here, where everything is displayed, because these things were furniture, man. You use them as tabletops. So the next little sub goal is to get this TV replaced, because I want a working floor model console TV. I want it to be working perfectly, because I want an Atari set up to it, and I can't with this one because the screen is shrinking and it's not fun. So this is going to have to go, and I'm going to have to replace it. But I'm not getting rid of this until I replace it. And then the problem is, what am I going to do with it? How do I get rid of a 60-pound console television? I can't just put it on the curb. The garbage man will not take it. You can't even take electronics anymore, apparently, in my, I don't know if it's New York or across the country, but you can't throw electronics out anymore. So I don't even know how I would get rid of this, but I need a new one. So I'll be on the hunt. Got a gem poster there strapped to the TV. That's always great. Again, maximizing as much space as I possibly can. I got the gem poster on the TV. So that's that. That's and there's the entrance. So we're coming in the room here. So there's Grail's. There's the TV. There's the G.I. Joe headquarters. There's the random G.I. Joe shelf. There's the Remcos. There's the corner of goodies and pens. And there's the door where the board games live. Now tomorrow or whenever we've got all sorts of stuff to look at. So I think we'll rejoin our original position over here. We'll do the Remcos, and we'll do this fun section. And this is a section that I want. Again, this section here makes me wish I had more room, because there's a lot of little sub-obsessions in here. A lot of fast food stuff, a lot of McDonald's, Happy Meals, A lot of product memorabilia in here, and this is kind of, I wish I had more space because all of this stuff deserves more room than it's getting. So we'll do that tomorrow, next day, whenever, and that's that. We'll wrap it up. Part 3 is in the books. Make sure you check out Part 2, Part 1 if you haven't. Say goodbye to little drooling New 80s Revolution. Oh, good night, everybody. Good night now.